I'm Chris Lee at Southeastern14.com, here to talk SEC football power rankings from bottom to top as we go into Week 12. At the bottom, Vanderbilt at 14. The Commodores have been there all year. They were down 31-3 to Kentucky at half, and they stay there again this week. The next one, I had Missouri and South Carolina pretty even with each other. I decided to let the weekend outcome decide the ranking there, and Missouri, which was at home, beat South Carolina, frankly controlled most of that game. So Missouri is 12 and the Gamecocks are 13. The next two are LSU and Florida. I've got LSU 10, Florida 11. Frankly, of those two teams, and both have reasons to mail it in, LSU looks way more interested in playing football at this time of year than does Florida. The Gators, my goodness, what was that? 42 all at half against Samford. That was awful. Florida is 11 in our poll and LSU 10. LSU, of course, took Arkansas to overtime before losing. Now, the next two are Kentucky and Tennessee. I've got them in that order with Kentucky at 8, and you might object to that because the Vols went up to Lexington and won 2 weekends ago. Now, look, I don't let head-to-head decide everything. I let it decide some things when I think two teams are right there. And I think I've got Kentucky just as a little bit better of a team. 7-3 overall, 5-5 for the Vols, 5-3 in the league versus 3-4. Kentucky is now clinched second in the East. I know Tennessee's played a tougher schedule by a good margin, but I'm going to go with the conference record right now where there's a 2-game difference in that one. And actually, it's 2.5, I guess, if you want to be technical. Next teams I've got in this order, I've got Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Auburn. And again, somebody might have a problem with that. And by the way, if you've got an issue with me putting Kentucky in front of Tennessee, I won't necessarily argue with you with that because I think those teams are pretty close. This is kind of flip a coin on these teams or pick one out of a hat, I guess is a better way to say it. They've all gone 1-1 against the other two, so I go Arkansas by virtue. I just think the Razorbacks have been more consistent. I've got Mississippi State ahead of Arkansas at that point, of course. State won the head-to-head matchup in Auburn this weekend. So I go Arkansas 5, Mississippi State 6, and Auburn 7. To me, Texas A&M a pretty clear number 4. The Aggies got beat at Ole Miss this weekend. And I know they've got some issues on offense, but the defense behind Georgia may be the best in the country. And A&M, remember, the only team to beat Alabama. I think that's pretty loud as to that team's upside. So we've got the Aggies number 4 this week. Next, we've got Ole Miss, a pretty clear number 3. I don't think anybody would argue with that. The Rebels at 4-2 in the SEC, 8-2 overall. One of only 3 teams with more than 8 wins or 8 wins or more. The next two, of course, Alabama at 9-1, Georgia at 10-0. The Bulldogs are done with the conference schedule. They have clinched the East. Interesting thing here, though. Alabama now with a better yardage margin per game, plus 94 versus Georgia's 189. Now look, Georgia has played a tougher schedule according to Jeff Sagarin. They are 30 overall and Alabama is 46 overall. In no world am I arguing that Alabama should be ahead of Georgia because everybody knows right now Georgia is the better team. But it's a little bit interesting to look at that yardage margin, and maybe it's a little bit closer than we think. I don't know. I'm looking forward to see these two teams playing Atlanta, which they should, and settle it on the field. But in any case, it's gotten a little bit more interesting at the top, although Georgia was pretty much in control most of the way against Tennessee and Knoxville. The Vols made it a game for about a quarter and a half, and then Georgia's depth took over as it has all season. Anyway, lots more football to come. I'm sure these rankings will change next week. Be sure to check out our content at Southeastern14.com. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. And we've also got some podcasts coming too. Anyway, I'm Chris Lee for the 14. Thanks for watching our video today.